Are you looking for a way to drive growth, sales, communication, and retention in your academy? Kovar Systems 6-month Program Director course is designed to help members of your team thrive in the important role of Program Director. With step-by-step training, we will cover a wide range of topics, including prospect follow-up, overcoming objection, and securing enrollments. Our program will teach your team members to effectively communicate the values and benefits of martial arts, which can be a game changer in securing more enrollments at your academy. Our next 6-month course starts on this date, so don't wait and visit our site www.kovarsystems.com to get your team enrolled in the upcoming course. Again, that's www.kovarsystems.com. Enroll now and get ready to see some real results in your business.
Welcome to the Satori Lifestyle Satori Masters Podcast, the ultimate resource for ambitious, hardworking school owners that want to get their business and their life to the next level. My name is Dave Kovar. I'm a lifetime martial artist, business owner, speaker, and author. My goal is to empower listeners with the knowledge and the tools they need to break through barriers and really get their business and their life to the next level. Thanks for watching and enjoy. Welcome to the Satori Masters Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Kovar, and with me today is Master Chris Pritchard. How are you, sir?
Hey, Hanji. I'm very good. Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, glad to have you on the line. Master Pritchard and I have gone back years, like probably 20 years. Is that right?
It must be now. It must be. Yeah, I think I was maybe 19, maybe 20 when we first met. And
I remember I don't remember the venue, but I remember you were sitting in the front row and raising your hand and asking all these questions.
I can actually tell you what it was. I think it was in Santa Clara, one of my first EFC meetings.
Okay.
I remember you coming up to me because I won an award, and you went, "Good job, buddy," and tapped me on the shoulder. And I went, "Oh my God, Dave Kovar just said good job to me and tapped me on the shoulder." True story.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I don't remember that as much as I remember that. Like I said, it was an event in the UK where you were all in, man. You were taking notes,
Yes.
and I remember thinking, man, this young man is sharp, and he's going to do some good stuff, and you certainly have. And so kind of first off, you are from Wales, Carnarvon, Wales.
Yes, correct. In the UK.
In the UK, and I've had the privilege of probably being at your place, I don't know, 8 or 10 times, I would guess, through the years.
Yeah.
And I just a little side note here. So one time, Chris is you're taking me to, picking me up from the hotel. We're driving back, and I know you know exactly where I'm going with this. And I look up and I'm looking at these castles all over. and I know you said Hoist Gracie's always fascinated with them too. So I guess I'm in good company, but I remember going, wow, look at these castles. And you looked at me and said, you Americans, you're so caught up in castles because you were born and raised with that stuff.
Yeah. Every single American guest who's ever come over to my town, they've always gone, "Can we go see the castle?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, castles, not again." And true story. The first time we visited, we were the first people we think that ever did an armbar inside the castle. You remember?
Yes, I absolutely. So the story goes like this. This would have probably been, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So in Carnarvon, there's this really cool castle, and it's where King Charles was actually ordained as prince. If my memory serves me, back in the 60s, yes. Right? Yep. And it's been around for about 1,000 years, and it's been occupied by the Welsh and then the English and back and forth, and it's got an amazing history. It's the coolest castle ever because what I love about that castle is it's not overdone. You can actually climb up stuff and around stuff. It's great. But so you and I were in the main, like the, I don't know, the king's chamber.
Yeah, with a fireplace, and you can imagine where all the tables used to be, right?
And I don't remember who did. I don't know if it was you or me. It doesn't matter. So one of us did an arm bar and the other, and said, "This is the first time anybody's ever did an arm bar in this room."
Castle. Yeah.
In this castle.
Cool memories.
So you're. So bottom line is tell us a little bit about your origin story. So when did you start martial arts? When did you first open up? Kind of take us through that.
Got it. Okay. So I started my martial arts journey in 1986. My parents enrolled me in a local karate school because they felt I was too nice. So my parents brought me up pretty strict with manners and that. So I was very polite. And so by the time I got to play school, which I think is your kindergarten, right? It's my parents, there was this duck, right, which I've been told, which was like a motorbike, and everybody wanted to ride on the duck. Then one day I got there early. I was on this duck kind of motorbike duck type thing, and kids used to push me off, and I used to be, oh, okay, I used to let them. So my parents were like, damn, this boy needs a little bit more confidence. So enrolled me into a local karate school, Shotokan Karate, believe it or not. Then there was a change of instructors. We didn't get graded for a long time. I actually don't remember this. And then I became a member of Kyoshi John Lin School, which he opened up in my little village in Carnarvon. I was a student of Master Lin from, I'd say, 87 all the way up to 2012. Which I owe him a lot for my martial arts journey, for my martial arts skills, and I wouldn't be where I am today without that gentleman.
Yeah. So you guys, I remember one of the things I noticed when I first met you is the whole team, the Master John Lin team was, you guys all had matching, uniforms, the jumpsuits on,
the red logo,
well-trained, way ahead of the curve in where the UK was at the time in the martial arts world. Yes. And just to put it in perspective, in the martial arts world, UK, the skills always was good, but the business was a little behind the United States for a long time.
And we still are behind. I mean, okay, maybe the business not so much now, but pricing is still way behind.
So fast forward, you eventually went out on your own, and you've got now several locations. So how many locations you guys have?
We have seven in total. So I hold I went up to 5th degree black belt in karate and kickboxing in Shukakai, which is a style from Gojinru of Master Lin. Then I was promoted to 6th dan of Hanshi Greg Tyranny in that art. And also, obviously, I'm a big fan of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Hoist Gracie, I consider one of my close friends. I've been with him 14 years now.
That's amazing.
Yes, and I achieved my Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. It was last year. Failed on my first attempt. I came up short, but 6 months later, I went back and I got it.
It's really been fun to watch the journey that you've been on there, and how much how committed you've been to that. It's really amazing. And now you find yourself doing lots of Hoist Gracie seminars all over the place now.
Yes, it's really good because, as I said, the UK is so far behind within the martial arts. There's like only a handful of black belts in the UK. So I was very lucky enough that Danny McMillan, my professor who lives in the UK, one of Hoist's black belts, he took me under his wing when I was a lost blue belt, changing from another like a sport kind of jiu-jitsu where I started, crossing over to the self-defense side, more of the striking, more of, I don't want to say real jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu for everyday life, not for competition, not for weight classes, and not time limits and points, in other words. So Danny took me under his wing. I got my purple belt with him, my brown belt with him. Well, it was off hoist, but Danny had always trained me, so I was pretty lucky. And now people like Shane Varney, Amir, Chris Ellis, my friends who are older than me who started their jiu-jitsu journey after me, they're pretty lucky that they've got a friend who's a black belt as well who can bring them along.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So tell me, along the way, you've learned a lot. And by the way, though, your head course school in Carnarvon, it's not a big school. It's as far as square footage,
2,500 square feet, including reception, bathroom, a kitchen, and the mat space and the parents' viewing area.
Yeah, but you've got it really well laid out. How many students are you running out of that location?
Martial arts right now, we're 220.
Outstanding.
Yes.
What's the split between like karate and jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu. All right. Okay. So it's half and half.
Okay.
Half and half.
Very cool. And by the way, on a little note,
so we used to be, as you know, I've been up to with including our Habit fitness program here before. We were running 600 students out of this one location at one time.
Incredible.
We went up to like 280 martial arts members. But if I can be honest with you, I wouldn't want to go back to that 280 martial arts members and those 300 ladies that was coming in here. One, my place got destroyed. Number two, we wasn't as profitable.
Amazing.
And there was, I know I spoke to you about this, that it was a challenge I was having, that the standard of the students slipped.
Yeah.
It really did. I was like, oh, am I doing something wrong? Is there something I need to do? But I really noticed that. Now, so I don't know, I think you'll remember you telling me that what stuck out to me was 2,500 square feet, 250 students, 2.5 staff members, and 25K billet check.
So, bigger isn't better. It's just bigger. It can be. It depends, but really, you got to find your way. But in the process, you've done. You've had a chance now firsthand to know what you want in a school. But with that said, you can't just you still, just because you're not really worried about growing your school's numbers wise, that doesn't mean that you can't continue to try to put your spirit into your school, right?
Oh no, goodness me! I'm in the school from like 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. every day. Every day, I love it. I breathe for this. It's Mondays. I look forward to go to work. Everybody else dreads it, but I really look forward. And what I'm striving to do always now is, how can I still improve? Even though we do have those 220 odd members, how can I improve their service? How can I improve my facility? I'm always on the lookout. Like just this morning, I was ordering a new logoed mat for the front door. I'm always looking for something to improve on, and always picking up ideas from other schools, restaurants, places with that service driven. I always pick up stuff.
Well, I think that's one of the things that makes you really stand out. Like I know you know this, but yeah, you're one of my favorite guys, and it's really been fun to watch you grow and evolve and continue. Is that you're forever a student? And I of course, I mean that martial arts wise, right? But yes, also as far as business goes, it's like you. And every time I've had a chance to go and interact with your team, they're very well trained. It's like nothing you really. So what I'd like to focus on first and foremost is you've created, and by the way, everybody has issues with staff along the way, and you haven't been, yes. I have, it comes with the territory, but what do you do to keep your team sharp, focused, to keep the culture the way you want it? Give me some points. If I'm in the process trying to grow my team, what are some things you would tell me?
Okay, great. So one thing is work out with your team. That's one of the best things you can do. And you've always said that the best team meetings are the team meetings, right? The
best staff training is staff training, right?
There you go, exactly. So we meet up twice a week. I don't make it a necessity for my team. I used to be like, trying to rule the iron fist, like you need to be here at this time. I want your stats, and I want this, and I want how many students you enrolled last week. And I lost a team member because of that. Because the team member felt that he couldn't live with that expectation, and it wasn't something, everybody's different, right? I'm kind of like, yep. I need, I'm like this, and I've learned that not everybody is like me, and not everybody can be like me. So I did lose a very good team member, miss him dearly. That he felt it was stressed. It felt there was too much weight on his shoulders, having to live up to my expectations as such. So
it has to do with authority versus influence, right? And yes. It's a hard balance. And one of the things that and especially wisdom comes from experience remembered. And yes. The reason why you've become such a good leader is because you've learned a lot along the way and you've paid attention. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yeah. But sometimes if you force someone to do something, it doesn't work as well as if you try.
No, good as me. No. So our staff training consists of, on a Tuesday, we'll get together and we'll do all our stand-up, because stand-up is my bread and butter, my karate background, my kickboxing. I really love that. So we always get together on a Tuesday and do this. On a Friday, we also get together and we do our jiu-jitsu. So we'll review our self-defense. I'll roll with the team. It's and whatever they need. So then our meeting is not, we sit around the table, we have a coffee, it's very informal. It's like, okay, guys, what do you guys need help with? All right. So it's not me there, preaching, right? Do this, do that, do that. It's more of, I nicked it off, excuse me, so I've gone blank, off Ascend, excuse me, I'll say that again. So the meeting is not me sitting there talking about stuff and, do this, do that. It's the idea I got of Ascend. We all sit around together. Mm-hmm. We say, hey, I've got a problem with this. Can you help? What do you think? What can you do? What can you do? So it's more of a round table discussion now versus an authoritative figure standing there saying, do this, do that, do this.
Yeah. By the way, those of you listening, Ascend is our mastermind group for high-level school operators, with which Mr. Pritchard was a member of for a long time. Yeah. So no, it's the Socratic method of learning, right? Just yes. kind of asking questions and a bunch of people sharing. By the way, I think it's a great way to run a meeting. Also, as you know, when you have new members, sometimes you have to drill on the basics with them too. So it's a combination of the two, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we haven't had the new team member in a long time, so that's why I was talking at that level. My bad.
No, it's all good. I think it's important because I remember going one time to this gentleman, this friend. He's a really good guy, and he had opened a couple schools. He went from 1 to 3 schools overnight. And I remember showing up at his staff meeting, and this was years ago, and he was having some issues with his team, and he wanted to get my feedback. And I went to a staff meeting, and it was it was him lecturing to everybody for an hour and a half. And I remember looking around at the body language, and everybody was zoned out. You know what I'm saying? You could tell they could hardly wait to get out.
I've been through those.
And by the way,
I've been through them.
And I've been on both. I'm sure I've been the guy doing that. Christian, our producer here, is looking. Mr. Kovar, you've done that plenty with us. I know he's not saying that. I'm looking. We're making it, but yeah. So it's to make it interactive is super important. So what do you do to, like, you've had some people with you a really long time, and and there's a very tight bond amongst your team, and of course, a big chunk of that is training. When you sweat on the mats together, there's just a different bond that you have. What do you do beyond that to kind of to have created the kind of loyalty and support you have with your key team members?
Yeah, so I'm always there to support them 24/7. It's not a case of, you can't call me now, or you can't speak to me now. I'm there to help them any single time. I treat every single one of them like a family member. We eat out together. We do family days together. We are really close. So when I do lose somebody, I used to take it like very, very, very personal. Like, oh my gosh, I've lost like a family member. But I now know that people leave all the time. Circumstances change. I don't still live with my parents. My parents were upset when I left them at 18. It was just we had different visions. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's to not be okay with that sets you up for a misery. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't control what other people can do. You can only control how you interact with them and how you respond to the circumstances. How's the phrase go? Being mad at other people, staying mad at other people is like drinking poison, hoping the other person's going to get sick. You know what I'm saying? So exactly.
It's like holding burning coal and expecting them to burn, right?
Yeah, man. Wish them well. Wish them well. Move on. Focus on what it is that you're doing. Yeah, because it's certainly going to happen. And I've talked about this before, but one of the things is that there's some people on your team, and just like there is with students too. But let's just take team members that you could treat them miserably, but they like certainty.
They're still showing up. They still show up, right?
Yeah, and there's other people, no matter how good you treated them, how much you paid them, they're going to eventually do their own thing. And so what you can control is those kind of a big chunk of the people in the middle that if you do a good job, you treat them the best you can, they're going to be with you, unless you give them a reason not to.
And I don't know if everybody might agree with this, but I want my guys to be with me because they want to be with me, not because they have to be with me. So I got rid of contracts, agreements, signing this. If you leave me, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, I got rid of all of that. So as I said, I want you to be with me because you want and not because you have to.
Yeah, I think it's really important. And I've had that talk many times with people on my team about, if someone to do your own thing. Hey, man, who am I to tell you not to do that? If you do do it the right way. But I want you to be here because you want to be here, and good deal.
But on a side note, when they have left, they still don't do what we used to do. I don't know if you want to head to that, right?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. It's anyway, people, and sometimes what happens, you get someone that grew up in your school. This was their first job. They don't know anything else. They don't know what they don't know. And many times we've had someone that said, "Hey, Mr. Kovar, I'm ready to move on." And hey, man, I'm happy with like I said, as long as people give notice and they do it in the right way, man, you got to follow your dream. You got to follow where you got to go. Only for them to come back later and go, "Wow, this is a pretty good gig. Any chance I can come back?" And that's why my advice to people when they're going to leave their job, whether it be with us or any career, is try not to burn bridges, man. The world is small, and try to treat people right and try to lead with strategy. And also, like, for example, and then we just had we eliminated a department a few weeks ago and had to let someone go that we all like, and we try to do it with as much grace as possible. You know what I'm saying? So that let someone keep their dignity, so to speak.
Are you a martial arts business owner struggling to grow your school? Look no further than Kovar Systems. Our complete solution program offers comprehensive coaching and training for all aspects of your business, from student acquisition to staff development. Our one-on-one coaching provides guidance from a dedicated success coach, while our extensive library provides tools and strategies to help streamline your school's operations and drive sustainable growth. If you're ready to transform your school into a thriving, profitable business, schedule a complimentary 60-minute call with us today. With Kovar Systems, you'll experience work-life balance, significant revenue growth, and more time to do the things that you love. Take your business to the next level by visiting kovarsystems.com kovar.com/podcast and schedule your free coaching call today. Again, that's kovarsystems.com/podcast.
Yeah, so switching up, let's talk about the student experience. Okay, give me some things in your mind that are really important. Especially, by the way, let's focus on your headquarters school in Carnarvon. It's a small town. How many people all in?
9,111.
Are you sure wasn't somebody born since yesterday?
I know. Yeah. Probably.
But and then you draw from a little bigger area than that as well, right? There's some communities around you, okay, not a lot of people. So your reputation is everything, because if you do a bad job, you're out of business.
No, people know about it. That's one of the things I've never enforced the 30-day cancellation. Well, 30-day cancellation fee, yes, but when we used to do the whole contract thing and thought, hey, you have to pay me 6 months and that, I couldn't do that in my town, because everybody would talk, and then it'd be like, oh my gosh, how dare they do that? But if someone said to you, hey Hanshi, don't go there, they charge you 30 days to leave. It's like, isn't that like the norm with everything these days? If it's your cell phone, or if everything's 30 days these days, isn't it?
Yeah. And, I mean, and you and I both share the same viewpoint on this. It's like, some people where you sign an agreement for a year, I wouldn't be having integrity if I didn't hold you to it. And I get that to a certain degree, but especially for us in the state of California, you can't pay for services not rendered. So it doesn't matter anyway. If you took them to small claims court, you would lose, and you'd have to give them their money back. And, but I want to be able to hold my head high when I go into a grocery store and see a former student, and not having to worry about if I was battling them over, especially how many times have I seen someone that's had a student for 3, 4, 5 years, and they just and they're on a year agreement, and they re-upped for their 6th year, and a couple of months into it, they realize it's not working out, and they've loved being at a part of the school, but their kids involved, and then you fight them for the 9 months, and you lost this. But all of a sudden, you have this person that leaves bitter versus better.
Agree. Now this is a true story, and I can guarantee it's happened to any other schooling out there now. Somebody enrolled at our school. We were like, they actually weren't too happy, but we gave him like the best positive experience ever. Do you know that student? They just didn't stay a very long time, but has referred so many people to us because we sent him away, because we gave her that good experience. But at the time, for that person.
Yeah. Well, so I think a good sign of a well-run school is when past students refer people to you.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And another thing, if somebody isn't going to if someone comes in and they try your program and they don't enroll, hopefully they leave with a good taste in their mouth about the school anyway. Maybe they had a reason that just wasn't a right fit, but it's kind of like when people drive by, Pritchard's Martial Arts in Carnarvon, you want them going, oh, hey, that guy, and thinking good things about it. So what do you do to make that happen?
All right. So one of the first things we do is it all starts from the moment they ask for information off us. So right off the bat, it's automated. They get a message that it's like, hey, thank you for your inquiry. Somebody will be with you soon. I've set up a little delay then that a text message comes off me, which is a little bit more personal, a little bit of emojis in it. It's like, hey, it's Chris. I just need an inquiry. Would you like to, you can check out the link now for the free trial classes, or would you like, to schedule a phone call? And mostly everybody picks that class. We get a few who want a phone call, who want to talk. So straight away, I'm in just constant contact with them. From booking, they get automatic bookings, they get reminders, but it doesn't look robotic. It doesn't look like that ChatGPT wrote it. It's all of me and Amir Korsan, my dear friends. We've actually put in a couple of grammar mistakes on purpose, so they know it's been written off a human. Like somebody's just wrote it off the bat that way. So when they come into the school, they already know our personality. They know exactly where to go, what's going to happen. They're met at the door. They're given a complimentary uniform to wear that night, and they've got a white belt coach taking them straight onto the floor, which does not leave them until after their first class.
That's great. So I've had a first experience. I'm assuming your conversion rate is pretty good from the trial to the new member.
Yes, it's always been over 80%.
Outstanding.
But I had to go with my wife a little while ago. We had 10 straight intros for the kids, and not a single one signed up. That is the first time ever in 20 odd years that's ever happened to me. And I'm like, Gemma, what are you doing? Are you not liking it anymore? She was like, no, I swear, everything. Let me see your intro. It's exactly the same she's done for the past 20 years, enrolled all these members. but 10 in a row was like, no. I was like, oh my gosh, what was it? But obviously, I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody else, but 10 in a row, like, sometimes it happens, but we're back on.
Yeah, it's a blip in the screen. It's kind of like every now and then stuff happens that's hard to describe, you know.
But poor girl, I was taking it out on her so bad.
And by the way, you're one of the few people that are able to work successfully with your wife. When you're talking about who he's talking about, is his wife, who is his partner.
Yes, Gemma, my partner, who's also a fifth degree at the school and works every day with me here.
Are you still doing Habit?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Goodness me. Yes. So she's doing Habit is a fitness program she developed, which is called Hips, Abs, Bums, Booty, Incredible Thighs. We just did it based off, you guys all know Coach Kevin Kearns. It was based off his gas in the tank workout, which I did out in Fort Lauderdale one weekend. And that was designed for UFC fighters, that extra gas in the tank. So I was like, I can do this with women. And I don't know if you remember in the industry that time, actually, that the 90-day fitness challenge was a big thing.
Of course.
Yeah. You guys still do that?
Not in our schools, but there's still places that are doing it, of course. Yes.
Right. So I remember it was big back then. So I was like, right, I want to do this, but I don't know how. And luckily, I just went out to Florida. It was in December, so I got to do the certification. I was like, I can do this for ladies. Took it home, showed the girls. They did it, and they did it with a bunch of girls first, maybe 10, 15 girls. And the weight loss that they came up, it was insane. There was no nutrition advice. There was nothing like that because we weren't nutrition. It was just like, hey, show up twice a week and work out with us. And they were dropping so many pounds. Facebook was new at that time, like 2011, 2012, and everybody started to get on it. And all they did was post before and after photos. And oh my gosh, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Gemma. And it went insane.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we went from 12 members to, at the most, you had 360 active.
I remember one time showing up. I taught a few classes at your school, and the Habit was like the last class of the night. And it was late at night, too. It was like 9 o'clock at night or something.
Yep.
And what do you know? 50 or 60 ladies pop out on the floor for that class. It was like, what? Yeah, it was.
We do not want to do that again. We do not want to do that again. So she's in a great position now where obviously when COVID hit in, she went from her she was about 160, 180 down to 25 in a week. All cancelled memberships. We just saw it every day. We were like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Scary times.
Every school went through. So I was in a great position with our schools doing well. We bought a holiday chalet, which in the UK, they called it staycation because we weren't allowed to travel out of the UK. The government closed all the airports and that. So I bought her a holiday chalet. So she could focus on that because she was going to take a big dip with the Habit members. She's doing really well off that. Now she's teaching, instead of teaching all those classes, she's teaching about 6 classes a day. She now teaches 2 a day. One first thing in the morning, 9 a.m. and the last one at 9 p.m. That's it.
I gotcha. Yeah, very
she's
cool.
She's happy with those 50 members. She drops below 50, she builds it back up to 50, but that's where she's at now.
Got it. Good to know. So once again, knowing what your goals are, knowing how you win is so important. And one of the things, another thing you've done well, because you really are cover the bases really well as far as all the different aspects of running a business. You know your numbers quite well. You know your statistics. Yes. Was that something that was always your case, or is that something you kind of learned to appreciate over time?
It was something I learned to appreciate over time. It was when it was an old mentor of mine. He asked me, right, by next week I need this, and that, and I was like, yeah, okay, got it. He called me the following week and said, hey, what's this? And I went, oh, I didn't do it. Oh, I don't know. And the conversation, his words were to me, Chris, we will not speak again until this is done. And I was like, oh, it was a shift for me. Okay, my great friend Vince Cassar, he'll vouch for this, that he's never known anybody like me to get stuff done so quickly right now and know and knowing stuff. It was that conversation I had when the phone went down. I was like, wow, I just let this guy down. Oh my gosh. And just since then, I've just been
Got it. So tell me some of the mistakes you've made in your career.
Oh, mistakes. All right. So probably the biggest mistakes is finding it when team members have left, especially when they were like family members. I took it too personal.
Okay.
Really personal. And not with the first one. I've lost found team members over time, but the first two like really hurt because I looked at them as family, gone out of my way to do it, to help them and give them free schools, you know, which was with a couple of hundred students in. So I did take that personal. The third time a team member left, I was like, hey, it was a completely different approach, and I feel better from that. So that I would probably say is the biggest one that I took things personal.
So what would you say? Let's just say we've got someone that's listening that's running a school that maybe has not recovered from COVID or just never quite got their way. They're a little disillusioned. They're kind of wondering about the future. Should they continue to do this? And they want some concrete action steps. Give me 2 or 3 things that you would tell someone to do.
All right. So if they want to grow their school, I would set out the end goal in mind. Where do you want to be? And I'm going to work back. I'm going to work back from this. And as soon as you work back, it's not that really big of a goal, right? So sometimes one of my school members, we worked out a goal that she wanted to only get to 100 students, only 100 students. And the growth was only 1 student a week. But where she was before, she was like, oh, I'll never get 100 students. And we worked it out. We worked backwards. It was to enroll 1 student a week. That's 4 a month. So when you look at it that way, it's like, wow, I can do that. So have the end goal in mind and work back on it, little baby steps where you want to be. And I think my old mentor, Master John, we did like a 20-year, a 10-year, 5-year, 2-year, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, and 2 weeks and a week. So you actually work back where you want to achieve those goals. And it's crazy how they all come together.
Very good. Very good. So what, as far as, give me an action step, you know, what can I do like today, man? Hey, my school is slipped. My numbers are slipping. I don't have a lot of money for a budget. What should I do? Give me some basic, you know, things.
Okay. So firstly, your biggest fans are your students. So everybody's on social media. I would get photos of them doing stuff. I would get testimonials of them, and I would be posting that all over everywhere. Even I'd be asking my own students to post it as to post a testimonial as well, with maybe if you've got a testing coming up. I've actually posted one today that a parent wrote me a great testimonial, and on a text message, I actually put the kid's picture. I'm going to show you that. Sometimes people say, oh, I do this, I do this, I do that. And you're like, yeah, mate, whatever. So here we go. Here we go. So I can show, I don't know if you can see, there's the kid right there.
I see the kid. Yeah. Good looking kid. Yep.
Here's the testimonial right there. I just put that out today, and it says, he really loves the classes and he looks forward to every training session. Even when his best friend can't attend because he's ill, he still wants to go, which is good. And he's really boosting his confidence. He's already telling his mates that one day he's going to be a black belt. Thank you so much.
All right. So outstanding. Now, do you get permission? Do you get permission? Do you get permission?
Do I get permission to post?
Yeah.
Oh, I always ask.
Oh, yeah.
Always ask.
I knew you did. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Always have to ask permission. Another good one, which I stole off a great man, which I'm speaking to right now, is to get the parents, get the kid through to the parents area and say, "Hey, Miss Mom, do you have a couple of minutes? Can you get your cell phone out, film the kid doing a great punch or something you called them doing good in class, get the mom to record it." Make sure you're in it, say where exactly you are, and ask them to post it on their newsfeed, and also to tag the school and to tag us in it as well.
I'm so glad you're doing that. You know how few people do that? I don't know that we do very good. Is it working? It works, right?
Yes. It works so well, I stopped doing it. I'm kidding.
You didn't. Okay. Thanks for the reminder. You know, it's one of those things that we never got in the habit of doing it. And that was something that just, I don't know, maybe I heard it somewhere, but it just popped into my head one day and it was like, oh, that's cool. Well,
no, it works really good because, as we know, it's more powerful for you to say how great I am than me to say how great I am. So that's how we see it with social media, especially when moms post stuff.
No doubt about it, man. Well, hey, just on a personal note, how old are your daughters now?
My daughters, okay. My eldest is going to be 17.
What?
In the new year. Yes, and my youngest is going to to be 15.
Wow,
so she's already looking at cars, and she's like, I want this. I want a Tesla. Oh, I want a Mercedes. I'm like, okay.
Wow. Well, good luck with that, man.
Yeah,
well, no, you guys have done a great job. There are a couple of beautiful girls that are so well behaved and working hard. Good. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you taking some time with me and
very welcome.
Shop, and it's always a pleasure. And hopefully I will see you sometime next year at an event.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
Are you a martial arts instructor looking to improve your teaching skills and build a strong team of future instructors? Well, look no further than the Satori Alliance, an international association of martial arts instructors. Our mission is to positively impact the global martial arts community by establishing a shared level of martial arts instruction, professionalism, and continuous learning. With our instructor certification program, you'll gain the confidence, communication skills, and classroom management techniques to run a professional and well-run martial arts floor of any age group. We invite you to schedule a free consultation with one of our program directors who can evaluate your instructor team's size, schedule, and training content. We'll outline the Satori Alliance master steps that have helped build and maintain strong teams of instructors. To learn more about the Satori Alliance and schedule your free consultation, please visit our website at www.thesatorialliance.com/podcast. That's SATORIALLIANCE.com/podcast. Join our community of passionate martial arts instructors today.
Thank you for tuning in today to our podcast. I hope you found it valuable and inspirational. To stay connected, please subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you go for your podcasts. If you enjoyed today's show, please give us a 5-star review. And we really sincerely would appreciate some feedback. Your feedback helps us to create high quality content that will help others in the future. If you'd like to follow me, you can go to Dave Kovar on Facebook or Haunchie Dave Kovar on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on next episode.